Alright guys, that time of the year again, starting to get all the mowers ready for this cutting season. Kind of jumped the gun already. I just wanted to show you how to change the oil on my Wright mower. Um, it was kind of a poor design if you ask me. The oil cleanout is way down here underneath the engine. So then you have to go out and of course buy a plastic tube. You would think for $8,000 or $9,000 that they would give you a plastic tube for free. To be perfectly honest, I mean they could have easily taken, extended this pipe out the back, or even farther out the side a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to get into, because you're stuck kind of putting on a little extender piece, but then your extender piece starts running into the side over here when you start screwing it off. I mean, luckily it's not a tight screw, so once you just get it loose a little bit, it's easy. But once you screw this piece down in there farther, then to use a wrench or something like that, then you run into the engine and also the oil filter up here if you're trying to, take it back and forth. So not the best design, but it works. And then I just got plastic tube going straight down underneath, and then you can see I've already drained out the oil. But that's pretty simple stuff right there. So to be honest, I have never actually taken off the oil filter before. I thought maybe this year, over the past year, I've been getting pretty good at taking apart engines, putting them together again, just fooling around. So I figured oil filter, and I would give this machine a complete tune-up all by myself this year. So change the blades. I've already put in a new air filter, basically popped that off, put a new one in, a piece of cake. But I've never actually changed any filters before. The only two filters I'm going to do are oil filter, hydro filter, top off the hydro, bleed the system, and then we should be good to go. I'll sharpen the blades, put grease on all the points that need grease, say like on the front wheels and such. But those will be for other videos. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take off this oil filter. I'm just going to put a old shirt down in there right now. Definitely drain out all of the oil you can first before you go and take this off, because clearly you'll probably create a pretty big mess if you don't. So we're just going to see what happens here. That was just hand tight, as you can see. I haven't even touched it with any tools, so that was pretty easy to get off for sure. Go run it, get another towel. Okay. As you can see, I mean, that was the oil I had in here was pretty daggone dirty. I didn't get around to cleaning it towards the end of the year, or changing it towards the end of the year, because to be honest, I didn't think the season would go as long as it did. We had a pretty warm December up here, and leaves took a long time to fall, and the grass, to be honest, I still had a couple yards that have fertilizer and companies such as like Scott's and stuff come in, and those yards, the grass was still growing into the first week of December. So with that being said, usually I change these. So I probably put on like another 50 or so hours onto the mower that I didn't expect. Just have a new oil filter here, Kawasaki 49065 7010. The one thing that the company did do that I like, every year they put on the date and number of hours on the machine. So I'll definitely end up doing that. So we'll just get this screwed back on. Get a nice little just hand tight like the last one, I suppose. And that's that. Piece of cake. Not much of a mess. I mean, you got some oil, but didn't even drop any onto the machine. So there you go. Changing the oil and oil filter of a Wright 52-inch rabbit height stander. Alright guys, I just wanted to extend that last video a little bit farther, considering I didn't really tell you how to change the oil. Anyways, the little thing down in here, sorry if that's getting blurry for you guys, but just screw that back on, and then, like I said, we'll just take this little extender, socket, hold on one second, gotta put this down. So we just take our socket, give that just one little tug on it, and then there you go. Put that back on, oil filter's on. I have a little funnel here. The oil that is used is 10W, SAE 10W30. So now that everything's tight, I got this Kohler SAE 10W30 oil, and pretty simple. Just pour it in. Make sure you take it kind of slow. Just so it doesn't overflow. But most likely this is going to take the entire quart here. And then you just kind of let it sit. Use your dipstick, check it out. The one thing that it does mention, I did let the engine run for about 5-10 minutes before I did it. That way the old oil is a little warmed up and moves around a little bit easier, so it drains completely. And this time it'll definitely take a little extra oil, because this time it has to fill up the oil filter. So we'll let that go, see how it does for 1 quart. To be honest, I didn't read the book, I just kind of check it every time. No leaks, oil filter's not leaking, so it looks like we're in good shape. Thanks for watching.